Okay, class, today we're going to be talking about cyberbullying and some of the prevention strategies against cyberbullying. I know this has been a hot topic in the news lately, but it always is good to just refresh our minds on what ways we can prevent from being bullied as well as being potential bulliers to others. So what are some forms of cyberbullying? I'd like you all to work in your teams and take 3 minutes to discuss and complete a quick write, just brainstorm on different forms of cyberbullying. We will then come back after 3 minutes and discuss as a whole class, see if we can identify the list of different forms of cyberbullying, and then compare that list with the list that I have on the next slide. Okay, ready? Begin. Okay, let's all come back. It looks like we did identify many of the forms of cyberbullying that are listed on this screen here, but it doesn't hurt to review them together as a full class. Some of the forms of cyberbullying could include sending mean or threatening messages to a person's email account or their social media account or even to their personal cell phones. It could include spreading rumors online or through texts. It could also include posting hurtful or threatening messages on social networking sites or even web pages, as well as stealing a person's account information to break into their account and send damaging messages. It could also include pretending to be someone else online just for the purpose of hurting another person. These are all different forms of cyberbullying. What are some of the damaging results of cyberbullying? What can cyberbullying lead to? For many teenagers, adolescents, it can lead to such things as anxiety or depression, in even some cases, suicide. There's a lot of alarming statistics out there, but some of them I just wanted to include in today's presentation are that over 50% of teens have experienced cyberbullying. That means 1 out of 2 in this classroom right now has experienced some form of cyberbullying. That is how prevalent it is in today's society. More than 1 in 3 adolescents have experienced threats online. But unfortunately, only 1 in 10 teens tell someone of authority, tell a parent or a teacher about being harassed online. Fewer than 1 in 5 cyberbullying incidences are reported to law enforcement. And mean, hurtful comments and spreading rumors tend to be the most common types of cyberbullying today. So what are some preventative strategies against cyberbullying? How do we stop this cyclical pattern? One strategy would be talk to an adult. If you are experiencing cyberbullying, it is important to go to an adult to share this information, whether it's a teacher or a parent or law enforcement. But that's how the cyberbullying can begin to stop, is by sharing it with someone of authority. You can also block the person who is sending messages. Don't allow them to send such messages to you. It is so critically important to never ever give away your password or any personal information to someone online. Never make plans to meet someone that you meet online. That is putting yourself in a potential dangerous position to make plans to meet them or to actually go out and meet that person. Don't share anything via text or social media that you do not want to make public. And it's important for you to be a digital citizen. That includes being someone who stands up for somebody who might be experiencing cyberbullying, or being aware of your words that may be hurtful that would actually make you participate in cyberbullying. And being aware of those strategies and implementing them to prevent cyberbullying from happening. Those are all ways of being a digital citizen. So with this information, and just with our time that we've been experiencing and discussing cyberbullying in our lessons recently, we're going to play a game. And this game is called Be a Digital Citizen. Notice the game board. You see there are stars, there are crossbones, and there are diamonds that have QR codes in the middle. Each of these squares will allow you to either advance, if it's a star, or go back some spaces if it's a skull or crossbone. The QR codes will give you the valuable information that you need to complete your study guide that you will use to study when we have a quiz or test later on how to be a digital citizen and the topic of cyberbullying itself. So what are the rules of this game? Well, you are going to divide into teams of 4, and each team is going to receive a game board, a set of die, a set of red star cards, a set of skull and crossbone cards, QR code cards, and game pieces. And you're going to make sure that each set of cards have been shuffled and are face down in their appropriate piles on their side of the game board. The players on each team roll the dice to see who goes first by rolling the higher number. When you roll the die, you move the player piece forward squares as the die indicates. If the piece lands on an empty square, the turn is over and the next player continues. If your piece lands on a skull and crossbone, the player must draw the appropriate card and move their game pieces as indicated, and their turn is then over. If the piece lands on a red star square, the player must draw the appropriate card and move their game piece as indicated. If the game piece lands on a QR code diamond, the player must acquire the appropriate QR code diamond card from the teacher, scan the code with their QR code reader, and then fill in the appropriate information on the study guide. Yes, in this game, you are allowed to use your cell phones for your QR code readers and find that valuable information. Every member must fill out the study guide when a QR code is revealed so that you each in your team have your own study guide to study later. Once the player has completed their turn, it is the next player's turn, and steps 4 through 8 are repeated. The first player to reach the finished square wins the game. So these are some examples of the red star cards that you might receive. The first one states, way to fight against cyberbullying. You chose not to give the bully any more power and didn't respond to the hurtful post about you on social media. Move to the next QR code card space. From there, you get to have the valuable information read to you or given to you from your teacher that you will then put into your study guides. The next card states, great job being there for your friend who has been harassed by the cyberbully. You noticed that they were feeling depressed and had low self-esteem because of the harassment. Now go report it to a person who can take care of the situation and move ahead 2 spaces. Those are some examples of red star cards. Those are the examples of the cards that can actually advance you in the game. Now let's take a look at those cards that will move you back spaces, and those include the skull and crossbone cards. Some examples that you might see on these cards include, you were caught saying inappropriate, harassing remarks on social media. Don't be a cyberbully. Move back 2 spaces and lose a turn. You were caught giving personal information to a stranger in a chat room. And that is very dangerous, and you need time to think about that choice and make better choices next time. Move back 2 spaces and lose 2 turns. So these are all examples of cards in the game that could slow down the process of getting to the finish line and take you back some spaces. So avoid or be careful with the skull and crossbone cards. The QR code cards, again, are the QR codes you're going to be using your reader on the cards that your teacher will give you, and any information that comes up there you're going to place in your appropriate section in your study guide. So now it's time to work in your teams of 4 and have fun learning how to be a digital citizen.